Pro Tem James, could we have the council put the microphones on? They're testing the system.
Turn your microphones
Just make
on.
sure.
Test.
Testing.
Test. One
Test.
test.
Thank you.
Mr. Rassi, has you checked your microphone?
BR 5549. Yeah. Ernie Sample, baby.
Mr. Horton, you're gonna double as the attorney?
Wait till it's 6 o'clock exactly. I know, which is exciting. Oh, I know, oh, wait a minute, I didn't get all that. Okay. I shouldn't. Can't see out there with these glasses. Whoops. Welcome. Today is April 1st, 2024. I'd like to welcome you to the City Council meeting for the City of St. Mary's. Tonight we have an invocation by Councilmember Stephen Connor.
Dear Father in heaven, without you, we don't have any peace or prosperity in life, Lord. Continue to bless us as city council members, and let us make the best decisions that we think for our city, for all the citizens, or most of the citizens at least, Lord. Watch over and guide us with what we do. Continue to bless us each and every day, and don't let us ever forget that you are the King of gods, Lord. Watch over us as we go through this city council meeting tonight, and continue to bless us and let us make the decisions we need to make. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. Madam Clerk, could we please have a roll call?
Yes, ma'am. Councilmember Jones, post 1.
I'm here.
Councilman Connor, post 2.
Present.
Councilman Ingram, post 3.
Here.
Councilman Riley, post 4.
Present.
Councilman Rassi, post 5.
Present.
Mayor Morrissey, Mayor Pro Tem James.
Here.
Ma'am, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Okay, Council, we now have the approval of our minutes from March 18th, 2024 City Council meetings.
So moved.
We have a motion from Mr. Jones.
Second.
We have a second from Mr. Connor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ma'am, that's unanimous, and unanimous tonight is 5. Thank you. Okay, we also have our presentation, so we're going to go ahead with our Human Resources Director, and we do have a presentation. If Ms. Larson could please come up. Good evening.
Good evening, all. We're kind of tag teaming this one. Before we get started, I'd like to bring someone up. Miss Judy, would you step forward, please? Surprise! It is with great pleasure that we announce Miss Judy Helm as the City of St. Mary's Employee of the Quarter. Judy's journey with the City of St. Mary's began in 2019 as a staff assistant in Public Works. She quickly demonstrated her capabilities and was promoted to customer service representative before ultimately assuming the current role as the accounts payable clerk within the finance department. Her dedication to accuracy, timely communication, and willingness to step in whenever she's needed has made her an invaluable member to the City of St. Mary's. We are proud of Judy's achievements, and for those reasons, she has been selected as Employee of the Quarter. Congratulations, Ms. Judy. We're proud of you.
Thank you. speech.
The stepping in that you see, if you've probably seen Miss Judy's face, not back in 2019, but you may even see her regularly up front now because somebody's out sick or somebody's out. Judy, really anybody in that department, but Judy's one of the first ones to say, I got it, and they don't have to worry about it. So, Miss Judy, thank you for being a part of the team.
Congrats.
Get over here.
That's gonna be on the front page, right?
Thank you, Miss Judy.
For the right reason.
Congratulations, and thank you for your service.
Thank you again.
That was good. Okay, we have another presentation, and if we could please have our fire chief, Mr. Lackner. And
Council, citizens, a couple years ago, the city took over land disturbance accusations, and we took on permits. We had to go through a bunch of inspections and get everything done. And Ms. Tanner here, last year, was awarded, 2024 Level 2 Certified Plan Reviewer of the Year in recognition of your commitment to protect, conserve, and improve the soil and water and resources of the state of Georgia.
wow,
Ms. Tanner did over 120 plan and reviews. Last year, yes. So we're still working, we're moving up on this year. That's getting them out in 10 to 15 working days. The state they have up to 45 days. A lot of times you send it to them, 40 days later, you get back 3 or 4 hits, then you have to send it back to them, it's another 45 days. We don't work that way. Usually within 15 days, you got it, unless there's something terribly wrong. That, and also she's one of the building inspectors, and I know that it's in the report. Last month, they did over 720 inspections. So they're
wow.
kicking butt out
Thank you.
there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Tanner.
Chief Lackner even did his hair.
Ooh, we're in public.
There's a lot of love in this room.
An ink pen for him. All right, thank you and congratulations. That's amazing. So now we next have a presentation from Council Member Dave Riley.
Is this me already? We're going to talk about the Tabby Trail thing. We got the official notification. We're going to bring it up on so y'all can see it. And if you don't mind, I'll just sit up here and do this. That way, not looking back and forth between the audience and the dais.
Just move your mic closer.
How's that? Can you hear me better now? Okay. Okay, oh, that's so I can
You
turn.
don't know what that is?
No, I don't use them.
Watch it.
So,
Ready?
not yet. Okay, what I want to do this evening is just take a few minutes, try and enlighten all on what the Tabby Trail is and what's left before the money is finally available to the city. Now we can, there you go. This here's the announcement. We got this Friday. You can see that it's for $1,735,400. So it's a sizable award, and it's going to get quite a bit of the trail done and establishes really a precedence to continue to move with this. This concept of this trail dates all the way back to when I was working on the, well, I think I was working in Hawaii when it started. And there's a lot of history to the trail. A couple folks, Walt Natzik and then Terry Landreth, were really deeply involved with it. And they took the trail to different organizations. And as many of you know, I'm a Kiwanian. And Terry came in there one day and briefed it. And I think it was just before I came on council back in about 2012, 2013, that time frame. And I was impressed. And at that time, my motivation was more if I could help with that trail at all, I made a commitment to do it, and to myself. And it was really based on the health benefits for children, health benefits for us older folks out. And it also was something that provided mobility and a safe path for folks that didn't have cars and things like that, needed to find a way to get the place to work, and these trails would help that. So when I came on council, I pretty much got all into trails. And about that time, we had Resolution 730 that was created by our legislatures up there, and gave the government the authority to put $1 million, up to $1 million a year into the budget to fund things that supported the East Coast Greenway. And of course, our trail supports that. And I think it was about 2018, 2017 maybe, the Georgia Outdoor Stewardship Program was approved by the legislator. And what that did was take all of that money that was made available for trails into it. And we competed after that for the last 5 years. We competed in the Georgia Outdoor Stewardship Program to try to win that grant. First year, we thought we won it, and turned out there wasn't enough money in the budget, or in the budget to fund those that were awarded. So we got slid back, thought we were shoo-in for the second year, and it took us till the 5th year to finally get that awarded. And, you know, we're real proud. There's a lot of people that contributed to that. I want to make sure I mention a couple of the people. You know, the partners that we have are with the city is the PSA and Jacoby Development Incorporated. Those are both partners, and we also get a major contribution and joined by the city of Kingsland. They're providing a lot of the dirt that we'll need for the infill along the trail when we start building it. And we also can take and see that the writers, and we had 2 writers really that we used on this. For the first 4 years, we used Julie Hegler from over at the county. Wonderful grant writer, does a good job. She got us, you know, like I say, we thought we won the first year, and then as the competition increased over the next few years, we didn't quite make that same, or we made the same bar, but we didn't make the new bar. As it kept going up, as I say, the competition increased. And she did the first 4 years, and then last year we went with a contracting firm that we had made a decision we couldn't use Julie after that, so we used Joanne Smith, and she was with this firm, wrote the grant, and we really did a lot of work with respect to talking with DNR over the entire course of this, and we kept iteratively making improvements in the grant based on the feedback that we would get. And a lot of what really sold this conservation and the ecotourism that's available as a result of that. And that is laced throughout the application. Did pretty good in getting us up there. We were pretty high every year, and the 5th year we got over the top. So proud to say that. And let's see if I missed anything here. No, it looks like it. Go to the next one, please. Okay, that's East Coast Greenway. And that was really what made all of the grants that we were working on earlier on up through the one we have today possible. Because the East Coast Greenway is a trail that runs from all the way up in Maine, northern Maine, all the way down to Key West, Florida. So you can see it covers the entire East Coast. And Terry and I were sitting around one day trying to figure out how we could link the Tabby Trail to the East Coast Greenway, which would be a big plus as we went forward. And the Winding Road Connector came into mind. And I don't know how many are aware of the Winding Road Connector, but we won a grant for that back in about 2021, in that time frame. And we were able to start the engineering. And we'll finish all the engineering, and as we finish that, which will be later next year or the year after, it takes a while with the engineering to get there. And then we'll be able to apply and feel pretty confident that after all that work that has gone into it, that we'll get the grant to build that trail, which is going to be better in the long run, because what it does is really add a bunch of requirements to the trail that's going to make it last a lot longer than any of us here in this room. So, okay, next one, please. Now let's take it down to the Tabby Trail. This is what the grant is for. And if you look up at the top right there, you can see that there's the trail runs from up there in that area, from the Tabby Ruins rest area up there, which is one that was added with that grant that I talked about that was created with the monies that were made available by the governor. And it runs a little over 4 miles up to Crooked River State Park. So we're going to put that entire section in as a result of that. And then if you drop down to where it goes over there by on Point Peter, off right across from the fire station is the bird viewing area. And we brought that in there, and that has really made a difference with our applications, because that is the second largest rookery in the country, I think, maybe just southeast, but I think it's the country. And it is really going to be a big benefit, bring a lot of tourists. We think, and the East Coast Greenway, of course, is really excited about that. They've been behind us and supported all the efforts that we put into the trail efforts and the grant efforts that we were doing. They were behind us on those. Let me just give you a little bit of data on the Tabby Trail. It's 11.7 miles total. Starts up at Crooked River State Park, comes all the way down on the trail or the path that runs along the base, turns on Douglas, runs back on the bypass around the St. Mary's Commerce Center. I got that right, Bobby. So anyway, we come around there, back over to Point Peter, across to Douglas, and then downtown St. Mary's. And down there, it ends at the embarkation point for the Cumberland Island Ferry. But it also is additional trail that runs you over to the, all the way over to the Wheat Street property. If you come up on that street and over to the property back there in the corner, the being developed. Let's see. I want to make sure I give you all the facts I can here. Okay, it's going to be a pathway to parks, schools, East Coast Greenway, Florida, points of interest along the trail, and so on. I mean, it's going to be a terrific trail, and a lot of these little sections or spurs that'll come off to take you to the schools and things like that are going to have to be added on as we go forward. But the first one, you can see up there, that Winding Road Connector, which is that green line that runs right to left up there on the near the top. And it takes you right over the East Coast Greenway and the new Lower Island Parkway bike trail, which was put in as part of the Stewart. And that's where Terry and I saw that we could really get to the East Coast Greenway, just had to build a trail that was needed. We've always felt that the north end of the city deserves something that would help them get to the schools and also up to the park and be able to get downtown without having to get in the car and try to get down here and park. They could use the bikes, and if they were just going a short distance, they could walk. Let's see, and it would be, that's pretty much the end. If anybody has any questions on any of that or any other questions that I haven't covered, please tell me. But let's go to the last slide. And that there is trip of, or a picture of several folks that came into the city. And at the time, this is when we were early on establishing the East Coast Greenway through St. Mary's. And I hope everybody recognizes that bringing that through St. Mary's really adds to the potential for tourists to come in. They're going to come in off the East Coast Greenway, go down town, because that's where they got to pick up the ferry, and the ferry will drive them over. Now, and you recall, we did have a contract in place to offer that service. However, the contractor could never establish the service. So Robbie and I are looking at alternatives now, and we hope to have something long before this 4 miles is done. Should be this probably next year by the time we get that in place. So that's what we've done. That's what this grant is for. Remember, it covers the northern 4 miles plus a little spur that goes over to the Rookery access. We will be viewing stands at some point in the future. Those Mr. Jacoby have to install, and they'll be put in, and then people will be able to come down there, park the bike, go up, take a look at the Rookery. And like I say, that's either the second largest in the country or the second largest in the southeast. I don't remember that for sure, but it's going to be a good thing for the city, and we look forward to seeing it. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that presentation. Council, any questions?
No, I think it was pretty thorough. Like, no questions, but great job on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a great team effort. There was a lot of people involved. We had over 40 letters of support on that particular letter, and that's almost unheard of. The first year we put it in was only about 30, and we built that up over time. So
It's definitely a valuable resource for our community, and we're grateful for all the work that's gone into making it happen. So thank you again.
well, it's not me. It's a great team effort, like I say.
The entire team. Thank you.
I'll make sure they hear that.
Wonderful. Okay, moving right along, we have some board announcements, and we do have a couple of appointments along the way, so I'm just going to go in order here, Council. So starting with the first announcement, this is a vacancy. This is the Planning Commission, Ms. Jen Fabrique. That's an announcement. We also have a board announcement for term expiration for the Development Authority of St. Mary's. That's going to be Dennis Moore and Thomas Sailors. We also have an announcement for the Camden County Board of Education Sex Education Instructional Review Committee, and that's also an announcement for a vacancy. And then we have an appointment, which we'll need a vote on. So we have the Downtown Development Authority. We have 2 openings, and we have 2 applications. So we have Ms. Cheryl Carter and Ms. Deborah Cottle.
Mr. Mayor, or Miss Mayor, tonight, but let me just comment on that. I did talk with the chairman of this team to see how the 2 were performing, and he feels that they're exceptional performers. They're both reapplications, so I would make a motion that we appoint both Ms. Carter and get the other name.
Second.
Ms. Cottle.
Okay,
Those
Madam
are
Clerk,
positions.
may we do these as 2, or do they need to be separate?
Well, they can be together, ma'am.
Together, perfect. All right, so we have a motion to approve the applications of Ms. Cheryl Carter and Ms. Deborah Cottle. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have the motion by Mr. Riley. We have a second by Mr. Ingram. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, ma'am, that's unanimous.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm afraid because it's April 1st. I'm just being very cautious here. So don't want anyone to get any ideas. Okay, thank you. All right, next we have another opening. It's an appointment. This is for Oak Grove Cemetery Authority. We have 1 seat available and 1 application, and that is for Charles A. Smith Jr. We'll also entertain a motion there.
Offer motion, we accept check.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Jones and a second from Mr. Carner. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Madam Clerk, that's unanimous.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and we also have an announcement for the St. Mary's Library Board. We have Pamela Fiwax Kimes. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So that would be for a vacancy. So we have 4 vacancies with 4, I think, 5 available seats. So citizens, if you're interested, please reach out to our city clerk, and I'm sure she'll give you some more information on those openings. So next, we have a report of authority boards. No. So we have reports of our authority boards, commissions, and committees. And we'll start with a report from our finance director, from Ms. Marcia Klecken. Oh, it's not Marcia. Is this my April Fool's? I'll take it.
Oh, no.
Instead,
It's
we
not.
have Margaret.
It's okay.
It's
Good
a good one.
evening. You will find enclosed in your council packet the finance report period ending February the 29th, 2024, which is the 8th month of the fiscal year 2024. And just a reminder, it is an unaudited report. And are there any questions?
Council, any questions?
Just make a comment. It's looking really, really good at this point in the year with the revenue that we've collected.
Yes, sir, it is.
Expenses are as well.
Very healthy revenue. Thank you very much
Thank
for that
you.
report.
Thank you.
Next, we have our Orange Hall Management Committee Annual Report, and we have Ms. Robin Cross, our chairperson. Welcome, Ms. Cross.
It's my great pleasure.
Thank you.
It's my great pleasure. I love your city, and we all love Orange Hall. And I want to take this moment to thank all the city council, the mayor, yourself, of course, Robbie, and a special, special thanks to Angela Wigger for her help with the Facebook development of what we're doing. We are very grateful. We've been busy little people for the last year, and this is essentially, hello. This is the timeline.
Oops.
I don't know what we're doing here.
There you go.
Okay. June to July of '23, reviewed status bidder coastal construction bonds, developed new Orange Hall brochures for public events, Hippo inventory visit produces future strategy, Judy Molnar presents Garden Club landscape plans to include large pots, Jim Fabric presents Phase 1 plan for ground floor use preliminary. July, updated cookhouse construction status, utilities need to be marked on grounds. Hippo inventory status, surplus items will be disposed of through silent auction, sealed bid. Jen Fabric wrote a letter to the Tribune and Georgian outlining the process. Phase 1 plan of ground floor. Group visited site and made final decisions on space allocation. August of '23, cookhouse construction. Construction began in mid-July of '23. Projected completion, February of '24. Phase 1, ground floor. We get a lot of questions about this all the time. All of us that are out on the streets, people are always stopping. Phase 1, ground floor. Allocation of Orange Hall Blossom Room. There's 4 rooms downstairs. Orange Hall Blossom Room, that's for brides and weddings and romance. Mobile exhibit room, which we hope to bring in cultural exhibits from all over the Southeast and work with other house museums and bring in other cultures and we are very rich. This town has a very rich history, and we want to develop that. We're going to have a meeting room and a history room for the history of St. Mary's, of course, which is magical in itself. We discussed floor covering, shelving, floor drains, elevation, gate to Conyers Street fence, ramp added to back patio. Coastal Construction submitted all change orders. This ground floor will be open to the public in late spring of 2024 with the blessings of the city, and we'll just hold your hand and hope for the best. September of last year. As of mid-August 23, second concrete floor pour awaits inspection before framing of cookhouse begins. Kiwanis Club provided free booth during Seafood Festival. New Orange Hall brochures were distributed, and we had such fun with that. October of 23, second concrete pour has been inspected. Framing will follow shortly. We had the most amazing framing crew. Change order includes floor coating, wallboard, changing concrete elevations and center floor drain. On track for spring of 24 still. Hippo inventory status in the spring of 2024. Phase 1 furniture for each room of the ground floor, Orange Blossom Room, Mobile Exhibit Room, Meeting Room, and History Room will be looked at, and we will choose furniture for each room out of Hippo. And they have done a spectacular job of storage for us. It's amazing. We're delighted to welcome 2 new members to our group, Elise Pate, Director of Salvation Army, and Carol Bradley, CPA. Saturday Market, and we are having, I know y'all all know about the Saturday Market, we are having such a ball with that. It's now being held on the grounds of Orange Hall with great success, and we have, I think they had 21 vendors last count, and it's just been such fun, and it just feels right at Orange Hall. In November of 23, we welcomed Todd Harding, of course, the husband of Jamie Stein, to our committee, and he is amazing. We just are very grateful to have him. He is amazing. Cookhouse construction is nearly complete, projected opening still in March of 24. Today we had a group discussion of all our members about their dreams for Orange Hall, and that was just like Katie bar the door. Also, many thanks to Bobby Marr and to the St. Mary's Public Works for a spectacular holiday decorations on the mansion, and of course the live nativity, and of course Alan Rassey's part in all these things. December of 23, Doyle Strickland continues to make great construction strides on the cookhouse. Roof is dried in, siding almost completed. Our deepest thanks to the mayor, the city manager, and the public works director for their tireless work and support. All the things that we know about, all the things that we don't know about. We appreciate it. Our Orange Hall Management Committee wishes you Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. January of 24. As noted by the city manager Horton, the mechanical aspects of Orange Hall have been inspected. Items noted including ductwork, electrical panel replacement as part of the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing plan for the building are scheduled for early summer of 2024. New business. New budget for the city and Orange Hall will begin July 1st of 24. This committee has prioritized work to be done in the spring, such as irrigation and landscape projects. Back fence near the Mock property is also scheduled for replacement. Fundraising and overall strategy for planning and marketing were discussed. Suggested that all members read Kay Westbury's comprehensive book, Eye of the Storm, for historical perspective. Also, the Brian Lang Archives is a rich resource for Camden County history. February of 24, group discussion of future strategy. First, the whole group will address planning and timelines together rather than, breaking it up into, we're going to do that together. And then second, we're going to discuss together financing and fundraising. And we just have a group of crazy people for whom nothing is impossible. And we have just been grateful, and y'all have helped us, and we are very grateful. Orange Hall tour completed successfully. Suggestion made that we contact SCAD, that's, SCAD, Designs for Creative Landscape Design this summer. Also developing narratives, story arc, and bringing life to unwritten family stories and legends of Orange Hall. Inviting personal remembrances from community members, and I know that we have at least 100, 200 people that are walking downtown that you pass every day that have those stories. We just hope to invite them. Okay, March of 24, Cookhouse Use and Management Policies. Todd Harding has arranged a meeting with City Admin Assistant Leanne Howard for development of public use guidelines. Thank you, Todd. Fundraising strategy on June the 8th, 24, a grand opening fundraising event. It's a fish fry, y'all. Mm-hmm. Will be held on the grounds of Orange Hall using the brand new cookhouse for the first time, and Alan Rassey is in charge of just about everything, including, we are just going to have such fun, and we invite everybody and just bring your appetites. April of '24, Phase 1, ground floor. City Manager Robbie Horton recommends that we use the available 23 to 24 budget to secure services of the architect David Amos to develop drawings for securing ground floor reconstruction bids. Conceptual drawings needed for this purpose. Niles Trapnell will contact architect Jen Fabric. Motion made and seconded to secure David Amos as architect. And if anybody in our group has worked behind the scenes tirelessly, it is Mr. Trapnell, and we thank him profoundly. Public Works Director Bobby Marr reports that an irrigation contractor will make initial evaluations during the week of March the 25th, so that's already done. Welcome, new grant writer, Kimberly Smith, who shared worksheets and grant concepts. A formal plan is necessary. She notes that the current community market on the grounds is a viable option for spreading public awareness of Orange Hall's history in St. Mary's. There's nobody like Kimberly. She is amazing. A motion was made and approved for Robbie Horton's plan to relocate the trolley to Orange Hall grounds. We're going to get a trolley. And I think Mr. Hardy is also working on more farmers markets being a part of Orange Hall. This is just going to be unstoppable. So we're just profoundly grateful. This is just getting arms and legs, and we don't know where it's going. So y'all, we are very grateful, and I thank you for this moment to share with you what we're doing.
Thank you.
Are there
so
any
much.
questions?
Any questions, council?
I would like to make a statement. Robin and Niles, I'd like to thank you for your efforts and of staying with us through this process, and Orange Hall is going to become alive again real soon with all the efforts we're putting forth. So
It's our pleasure.
convey to the committee how much we appreciate all their efforts.
I will do that. Thank you.
Do you have any committee members here tonight besides yourself?
We have Niles.
Niles, would you stand up?
Thank you. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your service. We're excited. It sounds like there's quite a bit been done in the last year, and I know that we're all looking forward to June 8th. All right, next we have a report from our tree board with our chairperson, Christine Adamo. Is it Mo or Mal? Mo. Adamo, thank you.
Good evening. The Tree Board's annual report, 23-24. The 5-member Tree Board of the City of St. Mary's consistently met on the first Thursday of each month. Members include Christine Adamo, whose term expires December of next year, Jerry Brumbelow, whose term expires December of this year, Lynn Keene, who term expires December of next year, Peggy O'Kane, and Ed Torgensen, both expired. I mean, they didn't expire, but their term expires December of this year. 3 of our 5 board members' positions are expiring in December of this year, so a call for volunteers is in order. At the May 4th, 2023 meeting, membership elected Christine Adamo as the chairperson, replacing Mr. Ed Torgensen, who had been on the board for 19 years. Wow. Ed served in the leadership position for that many years and as chair for the past 7. The Tree Board thanks Ed for his 18 years of steady service and support of St. Mary's Urban Canopy as a member and then chair of this board. At the June meeting, Ms. Lynn Keene was appointed co-chairperson in a move to facilitate an ambitious program of work which requires leadership to be present and available on a steady basis. The new position of co-chairperson doubles the board's ability to implement and oversee key decisions in the absence of the chairperson. The Tree Board thanks Lynn for her many hours of service as co-chair. Of interest, and has to be noted again, 3 of our current 5 members will not be returning to the board, so we're looking for volunteers now. Careful planning and recruitment to fill these seats is critical to fulfill this year's program of work as well. In the past year, the tree board has applied for 5 grants and received 4 of them. The Trees Across Georgia TAG grant, which enabled us to secure $43,170 for training 2 arborists who are resident in the city of St. Mary's, as well as fund a volunteer tree brigade who acts as an auxiliary planting, weeding, and tree maintenance group to support Department of Public Works. The purchase of 20 more trees for the city. But most importantly, this grant permits the city to finalize a tree inventory. With the tree inventory, the city then is eligible to secure many, many, many more dollars from the state and federal funding part. Georgia Forestry Commission granted us in kind $50,000 for a geospatial canopy mapping in August of last year. The Georgia Forestry Commission granted us in kind of $80,000 to review, rewrite, edit, and consolidate the tree vegetation ordinances, which have not been updated for the past 15 years. That's due to start in July of this year. Communities of Coastal Georgia Foundation awarded us, the city, $100,000 to restore the Captain Lemuel Johnson Park, and that includes the installation of park art. That project began in January and is near completion and should be finally completed by the end of April. By year end, the city will now be poised to qualify for additional GFC and TAG monies, since the city will have completed 3 essential and mandatory tasks of tree mapping, tree inventory, and updated tree ordinances. The tree board has recruited and organized the first tree brigade for the city. The tree brigade is a volunteer army of citizens who have a passion for all things trees, green, and the city of St. Mary's. Under the leadership of Jerry Bruglo, the tree board has recruited 41 volunteers who have helped plant, weed, and will be enlisted to maintain the newly restored Captain Lemuel Johnson Park. We've responded to 6 inquiries in the past year, well, 3/4 of a year, regarding hazards related to trees in public spaces. 3 of these trees required assessment by a professional arborist. All trees were deemed hazardous and were felled within a week of discovery. The tree board reviewed and proposed amendments to existing ordinances regarding damage to heritage trees in St. Mary's. Current ordinances indicate fines are applicable for injury and/or damage to any of these heritage trees. The tree board continues to work on issues related to the enforcement of existing codes and ordinances regarding the city's heritage trees. In addition to a comprehensive citywide tree inventory, the tree board plans a program to review 100% of the city's historic heritage trees by the end of this year. That it will ensure us that we have resources that are available to manage and maintain these trees that may be at risk for environmental hazards, such as being hit by cars further up. The tree boards collaborated with the HBC on the restoration of the Captain Lemuel Johnson Park. The tree board has also prepared a proposed budget request to the city to support this year's program of work. The proposed budget of $60,000 is intended to plant more trees, to support continuing education for members, to support citizen education, to promote professional memberships to relevant national and state organizations, and the city's support of the volunteer tree brigade. This tree board has given 615 volunteer hours, which can be allocated to grant procurement, conferences, meetings, program management, and Arbor Day. The Tree Brigade gave 60 hours for a total of 675 hours. And the Georgia Forestry Commission deems 1 volunteer hour is equivalent to $37.50 based on volunteer rate. We think it's a lot more, but we'll take it. The tree board is in the planning process to develop the new plan for the coming year's program and welcomes applications for board memberships for the 3 positions ending in December of this year. Additional members for the tree board brigade, as well as suggestions for this year's targeted projects. As chair, I would like to personally thank Citizens First, council, and all of the city staff. The tree board has stressed everybody, and we are fully well aware of that. But you know something, if you want to change, you have to push the envelope. And we're really, really pleased, and I mean tickled pink, that in view of all that stress, we have made great strides in movement forward to bring the city of St. Mary's, which is a city, a tree city, into a much more current, robust, and green environment. So thank you all, because we are aware we have really pushed it. And we expect to continue to push, to continue to strive, to bring more trees into the city for all of us to enjoy. And as one goes down, we'll bring more on board. So thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a very
Thank you very
robust
much.
report as well.
Yes, it was.
Council, any questions? Do
No
you-
questions. That was very thorough.
Okay, I don't see any, but do you have any other members of your committee here tonight? Oh. Please thank them for us. Okay. All right, so, council, now we move on to setting our consent agenda. So we'll go ahead and go down the list here. We've got old business, item A, which is the agreement of contracted services for school board resource officers.
Discuss.
Consent?
I heard,
Consent.
He said discuss, so we can do
Discuss.
a brief discussion.
Pardon?
Yeah.
all right, I heard discuss.
All right.
All right, so for new business, we have Volkert Inc. Task Order Number 8, Professional Services, Coleraine Road and Winding River.
Consent.
Consent.
We have B, Resolution to extend 60-day moratorium on travel trailer parks in
Consent.
C2.
Consent.
Consent.
We have a resolution for 60-day moratorium on certificate of appropriateness applications in the historic district.
Consent.
Consent.
We have a consent. Okay, and then we have item D, support letter for Osprey Landing Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Community.
Consent.
Discuss.
Okay, we have a discuss. And then item E, which is a St. Mary's Municipal Court 2024 calendar change.
Consent.
Consent.
Consent. Okay, so we have a consent agenda, which consists of new business items A, B, C, and E.
Motion
I'll
to
enter-
approve consent agenda is read.
We have a motion to approve the consent agenda by Councilmember Mr. Riley. We have a second by Mr. Jones. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Madam Clerk, that's unanimous?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and we'll move on to our approval of the agenda, which consists of item D, I'm sorry, old business item D and new business item D.
Item A.
Did I miss
You
something?
just read your D for discuss, I think. It's item A.
Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah, old business item A.
But motion to approve the.
Sorry.
Second.
Thank you. So we have a motion to approve our agenda from Councilmember Ingram, and we have a second by Councilmember Jones. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Madam Clerk, that's unanimous.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now we'll move on to our granting audience to the public. This is for agenda items only. And if you could, please state your name and address. Anxious much?
He's ready to go.
Sorry, Miss Lisa.
Granting audience to the public. Agenda items only. Wow,
You're right
okay.
anyways, you knew. You
All right.
preemptively knew. I hope you didn't intimidate.
All right, we'll move into, all right, we'll go ahead and start with old business, item A. And we have Chief Galloway. Thank you.
Good evening, council.
Good evening.
All right, last meeting, we were tasked with going back to the school board reference to trying to work out the details of this contract. Captain Iverson and I met with them last week with Dr. Green and her staff, and they agreed to give us the rest of the grant money, which brought in another $25,000 toward the cost of these officers. And I will say that's probably the first time in a long time that many people in the room, Kingsland was there and the sheriff's office was represented as well, that many people had the same goal in mind, just to figure out a way to get there. And it was a pleasure working with them, and I think we've got a pretty good agreement here that we could stand with.
Thank you for sharing.
That's awesome news. Thank you very much. We also like to thank everyone that was involved in those discussions. Any questions?
Make the motion approved.
Second.
Yeah, that's fine too.
You don't have,
I was just gonna say, you know, I just appreciate the work that Chief Galloway put in to this. You know, since he's come on board, you know, we have a great guy as our Chief of Police at St. Mary's. He is someone that men want to work for and women want to work for. He has done a great job recruiting. We have gone from a severe short-staffed police force to a fully staffed police force. I think he'll have no trouble getting people to, you know, be hired for the student resource officer program either, or school resource officer program. He's done a great job as far as you know, making sure we're doing the right thing financially in St. Mary's. He does a good job shopping for vehicles and just everything else he does. We've done a great job all the way around, so I just want to say great job, Chief Galloway.
Well, I've had to deal with Miss Margaret, Miss Marcia, and Miss Judy, so they have taught me well.
But I hope he didn't intimidate any citizens when he stood up to early talk and then nobody wanted to give public comments. So if he did that, we apologize.
Councilman,
Great job.
if I could add also, and I feel kind of neglected, I left out some folks in this room that participated in that. Council helped out in the intervention, Mr. Horton, and finance all worked together to make this deal possible, to put an officer in these schools, because at the end of the day, it boils down to the safety of the children and the people in the schools.
absolutely. Thank you very much.
Well, Chief, I wanted to say something also, besides what Councilman
Close enough. It's only happened twice tonight, no big deal.
besides what he said, I just wanted to say.
What he said.
We don't really know what goes on behind the scenes when it comes to our police department. And I think we've chosen pretty much the best man for the job. At least I know that we have. And I don't want to swell your head up any, but I've been keeping a close eye on you. And not only are you providing a safe environment for the citizens of St. Mary's, you're bringing the kids in also. And I think we'll do a great job with the extra officers that we'll be putting in our school system.
Thank you, Councilman. And again, we have an awesome team over there. It's an awesome team with the city to work together to get to these goals. So,
But like I told you, if I have a compliment, I'll give it to you. If I have a complaint, I'll give it to Raleigh.
and then I hear
my
from
goodness.
Mr. Horton if you talk to him.
All right, so we've given Chief Galloway his flowers tonight.
It is budget time.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay, so we do.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, excuse me. I didn't say anything yet. No, we do have a motion from Councilmember Rassi. Do we have a second? We have a second from Mr. Jones. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ma'am, that's unanimous. Thank you for helping me out there, Mr. Jones.
You're more than welcome.
Okay, moving right on to actual new business item D, which is a support letter for Osprey Landing Low-Income Housing Tax Credit. And we did ask, was that you, Mr. Riley?
Yeah, that was me. And
Okay.
I thought it'd be nice if we could have the staff just talk a little bit about this endeavor, what it means to the city, and I think it's going to be a terrific asset if we can get it into the through the approval cycle. Thank you, Robbie.
Just a quick question, Mr. Horton. Did you have the background on the Georgia Initiative for Community Housing?
I have a little bit, but if you would
Okay.
like to add in, that would be just fine.
Sure, I'll let you go ahead and start, and if there's anything to fill in, I'll be happy to. Thank you.
The Georgia Initiative for Community Housing is a program that the city of St. Mary's got involved in this past year, I apologize. We were selected as one of the
Few.
what's it called, cohorts.
Yeah.
They select certain cities on an annual basis, and what that does is it allows points. When you start looking at community housing, it moves you up in the ranks to make you eligible so we can assist with community housing. It's not all low income, it is affordable housing for the working force is one of the main goals of that. So we were selected, and just being selected, we're beginning the training process, and there's been several meetings on that. Some of our community leaders that are involved in housing. We've got real estate agents, we've got contractors, we've got people that are engaged in our community that are involved in this program. And it's a commitment, 2.5 years commitment, 3-year commitment on training. Looking at what our community has as far as our housing needs are. We do have a community housing study that was completed a 1.5 years ago. Which has been a big help in that process. But it also keeps us focused for the future and making sure we have community housing. But just being engaged in the program and recognizing there are points available for our community to tap into. And we have recently received a request for a letter supporting that. And that's what you're seeing in front of you tonight. Is a request to just say the city supports it, because that throws our points towards that developer. In your packet, you can see, I'm sorry I didn't think to put it up there, but a picture of, or a rendering, I think is the appropriate terminology, of Osprey Landing. Trying to do my best, family. A development that is wanting to be at, matter of fact, we've been engaged with them for quite some time, even before GIC, having conversations. And we're really excited about what the potential is for the project. So I hope I did well.
You did very well. And I think the main thing that we should think about when we think of affordable housing, because a lot of things come to mind for people. Think about, where will our police live? Where will our people that work for the city? Where will, our citizens live? And this is really just making sure that, everyone has a place to stay. And this group did a presentation a couple weeks ago, and it is a high quality development. So we are very proud to have heard what they had to offer.
And this doesn't just help the city of St. Mary's, it helped the entire county. And I'm proud to say that I'm glad that Robbie took the initiative to get something like this in the works. And maybe this will bring about some more housing of this magnitude.
Yeah, the GIC program actually, they're developers of this magnitude, of this quality, actually come looking for communities that are involved in the GIC program. So that program in and of itself has helped with this project.
If I may, folks, for our community that's out there, if you haven't had the opportunity to check out the packet online, I highly recommend it. There's some renderings in there, and there's also some photographs of a very similar project, of the level of work that goes into these this development. The developer is known in our community, and we're really excited about it. So,
Thank you. Thank you. Any additional questions?
Yeah, I just got one comment. Affordable housing was included in our master plan a few years ago, and with this committee, and I don't know which members are here tonight.
We do have
Might want to introduce.
at least one member, Mr. Jelly. Is there anyone else?
Thank you for that service.
Thank you.
I mean, and so this is a big deal for the city, because we are now putting another mark in the master plan, just like the Tabby Trail is in the master plan. This is, and many of the things that we've undertaken in the city over the past few years. So I say that because it proves both that we're serious about the master plan. We kept that not on the top shelf, but on the desk of many of the city staff. And I know I keep one at home and look at it frequently and use it on the committees that I'm at. So I personally thank you, all of those that worked on this and made this big step, and hopefully it'll get approved, and it'll help us get that development. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Any
Make a
others?
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion to approve by Councilmember Riley. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Mr. Rassi. Is there any additional discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Madam Clerk, that's unanimous.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're down to the report of the city manager.
Good evening, all. I'm trying to maintain my composure. There was an announcement that was released just prior to our meeting started tonight. I know I've already handed all of you my notes, but we've had a change. We're actually running a test as we speak on the YouTube. We are live on YouTube as we speak. My understanding is that we've got around 9 folks that are watching it. They did get the message, and we're excited about it. My understanding is the pictures are good and the audio is good, and so
That's what I've
we're
heard.
ready to dance in the street, I think, after this one's over. But we are excited about it, and so we're getting there, folks. We had a crew in, and actually, I've got to do this. Miss Deborah, thank you so much for giving up a day of your vacation, even though you are switching it next week. But she did come in today to make sure. We've had technicians involved. IT's been a part of it all day long, and they've diligently sat here to work through. And Joya, as always, she was there doing her thing. She understood it better than probably any of us. So we're appreciative of that. But that's exciting news, folks. Miss Joy, if you would, swap the screen for me, because I've got some more exciting news. Ladies and gentlemen, if it'll flip, please, 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 please. So how's everyone doing? I'm trying. I'm seeing flickering. That's positive, maybe. Oh.
What are you trying to put up?
While we're waiting, we don't have 9 people online. We actually have 25 online, and we have 67 brand-new subscriptions, so we're excited about that. And we want to encourage everyone to subscribe so that you can get updates, and thank you for listening and watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, that is not a panoramic view of some other place. That is actually at your downtown waterfront. That is the Tilden Norris Marsh Walk. The construction phase of it has been done. We still have some more work to do on it, i.e. installing lights, and that's a city function that we'll be doing. But our contractor has completed it.
Wow, that's beautiful.
It is a very strong eye catch, folks. I don't know how else to explain it. I went for a ride earlier this afternoon just to follow up and check, and I almost slammed on brakes. It was so pretty. But we are proud of it. Our contractor did a fantastic job. Public Works will continue doing a fantastic job and finishing it out and getting the lights installed and some other little tweaks along the way. But we're real proud of that. So that's where we are with the Tilden Norris Marsh Walk. The Osborne project, we do have some lights in our medians that are out. One of them is in that median where the tree board has been working so very, very hard. Georgia Power had came in prior to us initiating construction. Just as we were wrapping up, we ran into electrical problems with that light, and they're going to have to run another cable to that light. So they're trying to figure out how to minimize the impact on the park, but it will go back in just as it was finished. So that's the update on that. Again, just as a friendly reminder, there will be a fish fry at the Orange Hall Cookhouse on June the 8th, 11 to 2 o'clock for $12 a plate. The proceeds will be going to the Orange Hall Fund. Outdoor Stewardship Program, you got a brief on that from Mr. Riley. We're really excited about that. Human Resources has been assisting with personnel issues in multiple departments, hiring and onboarding process for several positions, advertising for planners in our Community Development Department, advertising and interviewing for customer service rep in our finance, advertising and interviewing for aquatic park positions, which is, folks, that's like 20 folks that they've got to go through that process. Yeah, she departed on us. Also been onboarding several new employees in the following departments: Public Works, Main Street, Fire Department, and our Police Department. I don't want to miss, there was one more I wanted to make sure I did. Our Finance Department, Council, this is your friendly reminder. There will be a budget workshop in the council chambers on May the 8th at 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. for council to review the 2025 budget. We will try to complete the review on the 8th, but if we cannot finish, we will finish up on the 9th. We've been very successful in the last couple of years of maintaining that one day, but please make sure you keep both of those days open on your calendars for those reviews. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ingram alluded to it, so I'm going to amplify it. Chief Galloway, as painful as it is, folks, he just completed his probationary period.
He made it.
Of course, tomorrow morning about 9 o'clock, he may be on probation again, but that's okay. Chief Galloway walked in the door, as Mr. Ingram stated, with a department that was hurting. In 1 year, effective today, well, a little over a year, he's reached the milestone. We have 28 sworn officers, which is a full complement at this time. All 4 of his K-9 units, which we only had 1 K-9 unit at the time, they're on the road and they're doing their work and doing a fine job. With your approval tonight, he begins another task of filling SRO positions. So we certainly do appreciate that. He did a fantastic job with working the school board and doing what he needed to and looking out for the best interest of the city. Fire Department, if you were one of the fortunate ones to be able to attend the open house at the Fire Department on Saturday, they saw over 200 folks, and they had food, fun, and tours. And I heard a rumor through the mill that even our fire chief was actually driving one of the fire trucks. There's not many people in the room that have ridden with him in a fire truck, and that's scary. Just thought I'd throw that little bit in there. Yes, we're in a meeting. Main Street. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made a transition. Our business licensing is now out of our Main Street office. If you have need for a business license or have questions regarding your business license, please contact our Main Street. They are the ones that will be handling those now. It also puts you in contact with our Main Street, which can assist you with anything business related as it concerns the city of St. Mary's. And they'll be your friends not only through the licensing point, but also the whole time that you're in business. I want to make sure I got that in there. Community development. the Community Development Department is currently working with Pigmental Studios. Some of you may have seen the article that has recently been released. It is real. It's not fictitious. But the department has been working with Pigmental Studios to package and review a proposed development of regional impact with the Commerce Park. The proposed development includes nearly 2 million square feet of film production and studio space, along with a variety of mixed uses, including a performing arts center. One of the claims to fame, and I didn't know this because if I had, I'd have got their signature or something. I don't know how you do it, but apparently, Lord, I just drew a blank. What's that? Despicable Me. Yeah, Despicable Me is one of their movies. So just that's who we got coming. Our code compliance complaint tracking process has been transitioned to cloud permitting. Our business license, which are now issued by Main Street, they're beginning the transition to cloud permitting as well. The Planning Commission is working with the department to amend our existing C2 commercial zoning district, remove travel trailer parks as permitted use, and incorporate landscape and light design standards. The creation of TAD 3 implementation policy and procedure is well underway with KB Advisories, which you approved at a recent council meeting. Our grants, okay, she's busy. That's about the way I'm going to say this.
There we go.
She has been very busy. She has put in recently for several appropriations, senatorial appropriations, and you can see those below. Body camera grants and a whole bunch of, and AFG grants, which is the fire grant for the fire department. There's just a whole list of them, so please look at that. She's working also on the railroad crossing elimination and safety grant, and we're not trying to eliminate, we are trying to make safer, i.e. guard arms, or whatever we call those. And she's been very busy working also towards the EV, Mr. Jones, EV and solar for their new city hall. So she's been extremely busy with that. So we're very proud of her. Did you hear me, Kim? Okay. We were planning to have a meeting this week with our about the HPC sign ordinance task force. We've had to postpone. We're probably going to move it back a week. We haven't postponed it because we haven't set a date, but we're working towards that. It is very high on our priority list. Ladies and gentlemen, our senior center will be moving effective April the 15th. Our senior center will be closed next week for the move, getting all of our situations squared away and making sure it's ready for opening. The doors are in place, and we're hoping the signage will also be in sometime later this week. And where our understanding is we're pushing the date, but we're hopefully have the awning on the back of the building as well. So we're real excited about that. I put in your packets also, you have a complete list of the task orders for Volkert, which is our engineering firm that is handling just about everything we got going on and overseeing everything. So I'm going to try and keep a running count for y'all there to where you can look at it. So if we reference a task order number 6, you can look at it and go, okay, he's talking about the intersection improvements at exit 1. Everybody understand? Yeah. And I don't know if I told you or not, but just as a simple reminder, we do have a budget workshop with council on May the 8th. Just as a simple reminder. Also, council, I gave you another piece of paper, and I'm just going to kind of, you as a council are very familiar with it, and I'll just kind of give a quick demonstration. We have been working on the new city hall. So we've got conceptually drawn walls, and we've got conceptually placed desks. So we're seeing where everybody can fit and things of that nature. We're getting very close on being able to release that as well. Ms. Mayor Pro Tem, that completes my report for this evening. Council, thank you for your support. Thank you for everything that you do for our staff. We got probably some of the best folks in the Southeast as far as I'm concerned. And we got good stuff happening, and we're going to get there.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We have a lot happening. We do have now our second granting audience to the public. As he makes his way up here, I do want to say that we are growing in audience on our online as I speak. And I have been told to remind the council to please slick your hair back going forward, because we have HD quality picture. So we're gonna have to,
I don't have much to slick.
we're gonna have to keep that in mind.
Talking to me.
Thank you, sir. Please state your name.
Steve said he wanted
An
to give you a
address.
hand before you come up, Mr. White.
Larry White, 102 Sylvia's Court. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
You're welcome.
City Council. My first point is, the city manager talked about this new senior center opening. I just want to make sure that you have all the parking available in the back of the senior center for all the seniors. He's not listening to me. He's listening. That's a general question. I know he can't answer me now. This is not for comment. But yeah, I just want to make sure that there is sufficient parking in back of the building for the seniors there. The second thing is apparently kept talking about the speeding on Mickler Drive has paid dividends because there's a sign there now. And I think it was the city that put that up there, not the police department. But it says the speed limit is 35 for Mickler Drive. Just as you pass the bridge, the sign is right there. Apparently, that doesn't seem to affect everybody, because I've seen people come by that sign, and if you exceed the speed limit by 10 miles an hour, it flashes red and there's all these lights going off. But it still goes off. People still don't pay attention to it. Some people are even complaining about the sign, saying it shouldn't be 35 miles an hour. If you go on Facebook, they complain about it. Just another public service announcement. This month, on the 16th of April, in the PSA complex up by the high school, there's going to be a forum for the two candidates for for sheriff of Camden County. The two candidates are going to be there, and if you want to go and listen to them and see what their positions are, that's the time to do that. The forum is at 6 p.m. on the 16th of April, but the doors are going to be open at 5:30. There is another forum on the 25th of April, same location, for all the candidates for a county commissioner. I think there's four candidates that will be there, so you can go there and listen to them talk also. And I think that's everything. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any others? Any others? Oh. Okay, well. Madam Clerk? Moving right along. Madam Clerk, would you please read the calendar?
Yes.
Thank you.
At 5 p.m., we have the rescheduled Development Authority of St. Mary's meeting on Main Street. At 5 p.m. on April 4th, we have the master plan update in council chambers, followed by the second quarter town hall meeting. On April 8th, we have the 8:30 a.m. Downtown Development Authority meeting in Main Street office. On April 9th at 2 p.m., invitation to bid road pavement project in council chambers. At 5:30 p.m., Planning Commission meeting and council chambers. April 10th, 5 p.m., Development Authority of St. Mary's meeting in Main Street. April 11th, 9:30 a.m., Orange Hall Management Committee will have their meeting in council chambers. At 2 p.m., bid opening for janitorial contract in council chambers. At 5 p.m., St. Mary's Intercoastal Gateway meeting and Main Street office. April 12th, 9 a.m., St. Mary's Municipal Court will have their municipal court and council chambers. And on April 15th at 6 p.m., we have city council meeting in council chambers.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll now move on to our council comments, starting with Mr. Jones.
Thank God I can talk. Last time my voice was kind of shaken, but I really appreciate the prayers of people that called me and told me they were praying for me that I could speak again. Some of them said there was a blessing that I couldn't speak. Anyway.
They said it was the best meeting ever, actually. I don't know who they were.
And from these two, I really got it. So thank God for those two. I just wanted to say I really appreciate our new grant writer, and she hit the ground running. And Chief, again, I want to thank you for the great work that you've been doing with our police department. Well, all of our employees deserve a round of applause. And I wanted to give a special, I know that the mayor sent a special thank you letter to Senator Warnock for the EPA grant of $500,000. That's nothing to sneeze at. I want to publicly say that we appreciate that money coming from the federal government. Very seldom they ever give you anything of this magnitude. The next thing I wanted to say is that I don't know how many of you saw the movie the screening the day that shook Georgia, but there's going to be a special screening of the documentary, and it's going to be at the prestigious Carter Presidential Center in Atlanta on April the 10th at 7 o'clock. So you will be able to see it again. I forgot what channel it is. Is it
PBS.
PBS. And they have been, and as a matter of fact, Jimmy Carter was the governor when it blew up in 1971, and he came down to the site and witnessed the needs, and he helped us out a lot during that time. And we've been invited, some of the cast have been invited, or most of the cast have been invited to go down to the Presidential Center, and they're gonna have a little format or something before the showing of the documentary. And our Mayor Pro Tem was one of the co-stars, and I think maybe she would probably need to go down there and give her unbiased opinion as to what she thinks should be done. But I really appreciate everybody that took a hand in helping at that time. I know Mr. Ingram was here when it exploded. He was working for Gilman Paper Company at the time, and we appreciate everything that was done during that time to help us in this dreadful moment. So, Mayor Pro Tem, appreciate you giving me the honor, and since the other mayor isn't here, I'm trying to take up his time. But anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you to everybody in the audience for everything that you do for the city of St. Mary's, and we have a beautiful city, and we want to keep improving it.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Mr. Connor?
I just want to say thank you to all the employees of the city of St. Mary's for going the extra mile for our citizens, because we've got a great, great city, everybody. I mean, if somebody could name a better place to live in St. Mary's, I don't know where it is. But I really, really appreciate all the people that work so diligently every day to make our city be where it is today. And thank y'all for the people that come to city council meetings. We've got some people in attendance tonight that are here every single time. And that's just totally awesome. I wish we could get more people to come to city council meetings.
No.
But, and already said maybe not, but But I just appreciate everything y'all do. Bert, it's always good to see you, Mr. White and others in here. It's always good to see y'all. And when we talk about Thiokol, I can remember, I think I was in the 5th grade, and we were in Kingston Elementary School at that time. And whenever the Union Carbide Thiokol blew up, it shook the whole entire school, and it broke windows in our school. And I don't know exactly how many miles that is from Thiokol, but it would probably have to be at least 20, 15 or 20. And my dad had just left. He had just pulled through the gate going home, and when it blew up, my dad said it took his whole entire car off the ground and slammed it back down. So that was a very bad day in the history of Camden County, and we certainly can't let those people be forgotten, because a lot of people perished that day, and a lot of people that are still living have scars and all kind of problems because of that. So let's keep all those people in our prayers, and let's just pray for the city of St. Mary's overall, that our city council people can do the very best job we possibly can and make the best decisions for everyone in our community, or a large majority, because I don't necessarily think you're always going to please everyone. But I just want to say that we do our best job up here. We try to do the very best we can for the city of St. Mary's. And if you've got some positive things to say, or even negative things, we are welcome to hear those at any time, and we'll try to fix them to the best of our ability. I appreciate everybody that comes to City Council. I can't wait until we get into the new building. I think that's going to be great. But our city workers, y'all are awesome. Totally awesome. The sacrifices that y'all make for the city of St. Mary's is just unbelievable. I mean, it's not like you're getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and y'all put your hearts and soul and everything in it, and I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate you, all of y'all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. Mr. Ingram.
Thank you. Yeah, it is an exciting time to be part of St. Mary's right now. I mean, you guys can see that we have a lot of growth and things happening, and I think it's a very well managed growth. But we have a lot of good projects going on, from Exit 1 to our Pigmental Studios to everything else that's going on. I was going to say one other thing about the student resource. I always say student, but it's school resource officer program. When we complete this and Chief Galloway makes those hires, we will be the only place in the county within St. Mary's that does have every single school covered, elementary schools included. So St. Mary's did make a great commitment to make sure that happens for student safety. It's a good program that Chief Galloway really took to heart, that he wanted to make sure that we had St. Mary's officers in St. Mary's schools building relationships with St. Mary's kids. So if you can get around St. Mary's kids with a good local officer, and it just, creates a good relationship with community and children as they get older to communicate and, with our law enforcement officers. So I think it's a good hearted thing to do, and that's where the motivation was from for Chief Galloway, that understood it. So I thought that was a very noble thing to want to do. Outside of that, I'm going to be a lot faster than these guys. I'm done.
Thank you very much. Mr. Riley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and way of saving some time, I'm not going to say all the comments that have been said, but I echo most of those comments, and think that we're very fortunate to live in St. Mary's. Tonight, you got the little overview of the Tabby Trail. I was very happy to be able to present that, and I know I had to go pretty fast. There's probably questions out there. Don't hesitate to give me a call or catch me someplace and ask me anything you might want to know about that trail. And I was going to mention the Pigmental Studio, only from the fact when I read that, I said, wow, that's much more than what I thought they were bringing into the city. When they did an open house there probably about 2 months ago, it was part of a chamber event, and went over to that. And when they say 2 million square feet, I'm wondering where they're going to get all that. So there's more than that's a lot of property to be taken up. So we look forward to it, and that should be a really, really exciting thing for the city. Business license, the city manager mentioned those moving over to Main Street. And I think from the standpoint of the Main Street coordinator, works very close with both the Development Authority, in fact is a city rep to them, Development Authority and the Downtown Development Authority. I think that gives us a tremendous opportunity to do something that we've been looking at for many years, which is how do we bring some of that into one place and try to make that easier for the potential business, small business folks that are moving into the city. That may very well be the answer. And the committee reports tonight, I think, pointed out how well some of these and how hard some of these committees work to make St. Mary's better. And I thought they were outstanding, very enlightening on what they're doing and the projects that both those committees are working on. And I think if you look over the breadth of committees that we have in the city today, they all are dedicated to trying to do the right thing for the city of St. Mary's and make it better. So that's my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Riley. Mr. Rassi?
I'd like to echo what my fellow council members shared up to this point, and we're truly, with all the heartfelt thought toward everything that's been said, we've got an incredible staff, but at this time I want to be nice. And a week ago, Coach Connor threw out the first pitch of the Steve Connor Classic that fell 5 foot from the catching glove, but that's okay. You got it. Well,
It rolled.
there's over 2,100 views on Facebook. But the thing that stands out to me, Coach Connor had mentored and been a part of kids' lives almost his entire life. And all I can say, Coach Connor, is thank you. Thank you for what you've done for our kids.
Well,
Don't talk.
Oh, okay. I don't get to say anything? Okay.
Not yet. But no, it's truly an incredible Easter week. This last week, St. Mary's Methodist Church housed the community services they had. And we have a beautiful town that we live in, and we have a lot to be thankful for. Now I'm done. You can say what you want, Connor.
And I'll make this very, very brief, but Alan, I appreciate the nice words. Being in the school system 39 years is a long time. I had the opportunity to coach Chad when he was in high school, and a lot of other kids that have come through. The Lord has blessed me abundantly. I could say that 150 times. But it has been a pleasure to work in the Camden County schools. I'm still going to do a little bit of subbing once in a while to try to make sure I get a little bit of exercise, because if you go in there with kids, you're going to get plenty of exercise, I can promise you. But I'm going to miss my kids immensely. We've got the best kids in the world. Camden County schools, best kids in the world. Best administration. Dr. Green does a great job, and everybody that works with them. I'm going to miss going to work every day to a certain extent. Okay? So, it's time to turn up the volume on being city council member a tad bit, because I'm going to have a whole lot more time to be able to do that. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Were you done, sir?
Oh, I'm done.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'll just wrap this up just by saying, tonight we heard about some tremendous things that are going on in the city. The Tabby Trail, we heard from the Orange Hall Committee, a lot's going on there. Our tree board, very busy, and as she said, robust, and they are. We've got the fish fry on June 8th, the new senior center, excited about that. I'm almost old enough to be there, I think. The Norris Tilden Walk, that really looked like it it looked like a drawing. It did not look like something that's actually exists, and it's right here in St. Mary's. And the school resource officers, no, really, at the end of the day, our goal is to have for our citizens to have safety, have a good quality of life, social well-being, community engagement, and none of those things happen by themselves, and it takes a village to make all those things happen. So we appreciate everyone from the staff, volunteers, council, city manager. We can't, it's been said multiple times tonight, we are very fortunate to be able to enjoy what we do here in St. Mary's because it is rare. And I've talked to a lot of other council people from all over the country, and this is, I never have anything to complain about. So I want to thank everybody here tonight. And it seems like there's no April Fool's going to happen. So that brings us to the end of our meeting. So I'm going to see if we have a motion to. We have a motion to adjourn from Mr. Jones, a second from Mr. Ingram. All those in favor?
Aye.
We adjourn.
Anybody wants to see Connor's video, I got it.
It's like in California, it always
I may have something, so make sure you check with me too when you get ready to check in. Okay, great. Huh? Oh, that's great. Yeah, me too. Thank you.
But we're not gonna get like California.
So anyway, what I said was, we really need to have a neutral party. Go out to the residents and take a listen. Suppose you got a video, I said, you got a unidirectional microphone, and you can pick up all kinds of stuff.
Well, I might go out there.
So I'm gonna be at the county commission right here.
And give me a call after you get.